If I can make it, you can make it. Come with me while we make one of my favorite tofu dishes. I have my pan hot, and I'm going to add some avocado oil. You can use avocado, light olive oil, or vegetable oil. I'm going to also add some sesame oil. I just wing it in terms of the amounts. Let this at the bottom of the pan. I have this on a medium-high. I'm using all-clad, so it should be good. I'm going to throw this in. And this is my marinated pork, and I add 5 spice to it. So it's my standard marinated pork recipe that I add 5 spice to. I'm going to cook this up until it gets brown. As you can see, it might get stuck on the sides. That's okay. So when you add your veggies, it's going to deglaze the pan naturally. I want this to be nice and cooked and browned. What's in this pork is soy sauce, the less sodium soy sauce, brown braising sauce, seasoned rice wine vinegar, sesame oil, and that's pretty much it. I do vary what I use in my marinated pork, but that's basically my base. All right, you can see it's mostly done. Looks pretty good. Got a few pieces, but those will continue to cook. I'm going to now add my veggies. I'm going to turn it up a little bit and get these veggies in there. The veggies I'm using today is bell peppers. I've got the tricolors, and then my yellow onions. A lot of times I like to do green onions in this. Some people like celery. There's a lot of other different variations of this, but this is kind of one of our go-tos, is the bell peppers and the onions. So we're going to cook this up. I got a little stray tofu in there. That's fine. I'll pull it out just so we can focus on the onions. You want the onions to be nice and soft. You want the bell peppers to be nice and soft. You can see that it's deglazing the pan from the juices of the onions and peppers. There's nothing else added in here that's going to deglaze it right now. So this is the perfect use of it. All right. Now you can tell the onions are nice and soft, and they will continue to cook as we do the next step. I'm going to throw in the tofu. And this is a special kind of tofu you can get sometimes at Safeway. It's sometimes called baked tofu. Sometimes it's called marinated tofu. I'll show a picture of what the packaging looks like. And I just try to slice things up in the same way as the onions and peppers or whatever veggies I'm using. Sometimes people will dice the tofu, but then at that point you want to change the way you cut up your veggies. So now that I got the tofu in there, you can see it's starting to come together. We're going to start adding some sauces. We're going to add some soy sauce, and we're going to add vegetable fruit sauce. This is the one that pulls it all together, gives it that tonkatsu flavor, and I'm going to throw in a little bit more of my 5 spice powder. Why? Because I like the 5 spice powder. I think it gives it the flavor. We already have 5 spice powder in the meat, but I'm just adding a little bit more to go on top of the dish to kind of pump it up. And I might add a little bit more tonkatsu in a second. I'm going to let this kind of come together and see. Yep, I think I need a little bit more tonkatsu. I don't measure, but kind of measure with your heart when you're cooking. Okay, that's really all it is. You see how fast that is? How many minutes is that?
5.
5 minutes to put this dish together. The majority of your work is in cutting up the veggies and getting them pork marinated and cutting up the tofu. But after that is it. It is done. Look at that. Delicious.